What glory.
Good evening and welcome to the Cricket Show. We've got another massive night ahead for you. We've got 3 guests in the studio. Joining me once again at the desk, David Bogue. Welcome, David.
Thank you, mate.
Holiday time. How's the fishing been? Getting plenty of bites?
Got a few fish yesterday, actually. Spent a lot of the time in the sun and got nothing, but when the moon was up and the sun went down, we did all right. So having them tonight, hopefully. The young fellas filleted them, so I'll go home and crumb them and we'll eat them. So, yeah, holidays are good, mate.
Good.
Love it.
Yes, yes. All right. Also, our first guest tonight, we've got Bundaberg Cricket Association President Matt Fleming. Welcome, Matt.
Thanks, guys.
We'll have a chat soon, but before we get into it, instead of doing a weekly highlight, we're going to do a highlight of the year so far. So start with you, David. What you got?
A highlight for me has been the feedback on the show, to be honest. And I think a couple of positives has been mentioning the juniors. So I know the juniors, if they do well in juniors on a Saturday morning, they're watching on the next week to see if they get a mention. And we mentioned James Cronin said my goal was to get a mention this year. So he got a mention, but I know Matt's going to talk about some of the highlights as well, but seeing the number of hat-tricks in juniors, and especially the girls who've been doing really well, and we had Lucy on. So I just think having a show where we talk about senior cricket, a bit of Big Bash, and the juniors as well. So I think it's a good concept, and as Casper said last week, there's not many local areas in Queensland that I think we're the only cricket show. So I think it's only bringing cricket to people's attention, and people are following it. And I think it's only good for Bundaberg cricket. So that's my highlight, mate.
Like the old days where you used to wait till the paper to come out on a Wednesday or Thursday to read your name in the paper if you did all right.
Yeah, the photographer's there.
TV show now.
The photographer's there, and I'm sure he got me, but he gets about 50 other people, but not you.
So Matt, what's your highlight from the season so far?
I think overall, the hundreds that have been scored, the wickets as well from bowlers. Like I've had so much feedback this year about the batting decks that we've got, and people are actually going out there scoring hundreds. But then also on the other side, the bowlers are out there, taking wickets as well. If they hit their right lines and lengths, they're getting wickets. And the feedback from a lot of players have just come back and said, it's so good to have, decks that we can actually, hit through the ball, but then you can also get some purchase out of it bowling if you hit the right line. So, just the cricket in general for me has been, really good to watch. Sitting inside the clubhouse in there, watching all the cricket's been great.
And why do you think the decks are, like you want a deck that gives a bit for the batter and the bowler? As I think the Adelaide, the curator there said, I want the batters to score runs, but I want them to have a bit of a battle with the bowlers, as like Peter Box obviously doing a fair bit of work.
Yeah, I think probably the help we had this year was getting on there a little bit earlier.
Yep.
With Pete taking over, Salter overall in general, after the rugby league, he was able to spend a little bit of time early and get some work into the decks pretty early, which I think we seen the first weekend when we had the Good Child 2020 games, there was 100 scored in a 2020 and an 80 in one of the games. All the games were plenty of runs, but then there was also, plenty in it for the bowlers as well. So I think that's probably helped.
Okay.
Everyone, there's always going to be, times when they're not going to be as good as what we want them to be. But we are only sort of a local cricket association where we're trying our best. We haven't got the best curators and the most money in the world that we can, spend to do exactly what we want, but I think overall it's given a good contest all the way through from first, seconds and thirds.
Yep.
Yeah.
And from 16s through to
exactly.
the little fellas playing on a Saturday morning.
But I'd just like to add there, Bundaberg, we're so lucky that we've got eight turf wickets within 5 minutes drive of each other.
Yep.
I don't think there's anywhere else around the state where there's that number of wickets so close to each other, and we're just so fortunate that we can play all our senior cricket on turf wickets as well as under 16s and under 14s.
Absolutely.
So, it's credit. We've got a lot of area that we have to mow and look after and maintain. So, my highlight was probably the ladies' night. although the result didn't go as well as what we would have liked as the Vikings, but just to see that amount of people out at cricket and around and enjoying the night, and I know
Yep.
we've said it 1,000 times before, but what Dale and Katie did, and after Christmas we've got the Better Heat corporate night that Wade will put on, and also the Tackle Vans one, and
Yep.
and that as well. So just looking forward to them, and they're great to get different people coming out, and
Something different, isn't
watching
it?
our games.
Yeah,
So.
it's getting a different core of people coming out there, which is good. And that's, you know, as much as a lot of them probably don't watch the cricket, it's a night out,
Yeah.
you know, and it's good for everybody. So.
Good shout out.
Yeah.
Your local Better are your appliance specialists. With everything from fridges and laundry to TV, small appliances and much more. Plus, with a range of payment options available, you can buy now and pay later. Go local, that's better.
All right. Just have a touch on last week. We had Lucy in.
Yep.
The girls are over in Perth, the three local girls. They've played Monday and yesterday.
Yep.
T20 games. Today was a rest day. So they won their first game, 5 for 164. Defeated ACT 9 for 98. Tara Staines with 25 off 21. And Lucy Hamilton with 16 off 11, but then also bowled 4 overs, 2 for 6 in a
Okay.
T20 game.
Not
So,
surprised, mate.
Yeah.
She's a good bowler, and that's a pretty convincing victory for the Queensland girls. And Lucy was pretty pumped because they won it last year, did she say?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
yesterday morning they played New South Wales Metro
Ah.
and got a little bit of a lesson. 8 for 127 Queensland scored, with Tara again in the runs with 22. But New South Wales chased them down, none down in 16.5 overs. So bit of a lesson there. And then they bounced back in the afternoon, scored 8 for 123, defeating New South Wales Country 7 for 94.
Okay.
So Tara again in the run with 31 off
Wow.
32, and Lucy with 3 overs, 1 for 7.
Okay.
So the girls are 2-1. They had a rest day today. Then they got 50 over games starting tomorrow. Tomorrow they play Western Australia. Friday they play South Australia. Saturday is another rest day, and they play Tasmania on Sunday. So hopefully 3 more wins will put them in the final for a rematch, I would imagine,
Against New South Wales? Yeah.
Metro. So
they'll be right.
yeah, the girls are going well.
Yeah, and well, Tara's doing well, isn't
Yeah.
she? That's great.
Yeah, they're also picking under 19 squad to go to the World Cup in March in South Africa. So.
Okay. I reckon Lucy's going to be there, and Tara, she might be. I reckon she's there too. If she
Yeah.
keeps going like she is,
Yeah.
we'll see.
So good luck to the girls.
Yeah,
and you
that's
can
good.
actually follow that on My Cricket as well. So we'll leave some games a live stream
Okay.
as well. All right, we got Matt in, so we better talk to him, I
El
suppose.
Presidente.
El Presidente.
I never thought I'd be sitting in a cricket show with you and old mate here. We were arch rivals. He was the old Country West boy,
Yeah.
the Bradman of the bush, we used to call him. But yeah, he stepped into the big role as president this year, and well, someone had to do it. So you thought time was right, mate?
Yeah. I was always of the opinion that you know, if I've got an opinion about something about the association or about how things are going, you know, I can't just, you know, voice my opinion and not do nothing about it. So, you know, I thought the right time, you know, was for me, you know, to step into the role, you know, taking over from Ross Pegg, and then of course Ian Grills before that, and the work that they've done. And yeah, just I suppose a little bit of a change of scenery for people to see some, you know, different people in the roles, and you know, just dig my feet in, and you know, keep the place going strong, hopefully.
Ticking along, hey?
Yeah, it's been good.
Yep.
You know, it's trying at times, of course, as everybody knows, when you're in these roles, and
It's a thankless job, mate.
Yeah.
And it can be very time consuming, and that's when people have been around a while, you think, well, you can't knock him, and he's out there having a go. Sometimes, I think when the weather intervenes, that can make it tough, and everyone's
Yep.
got an opinion on pitches and fields, and that's been going on for as long as
long as
cricket-
we've been around the place, yeah, it's been going on forever. I, you know, can remember a time when Herbie Lutz just said, "No, get out there and play."
Yep.
And it's like, mate, you can't even stand up and bowl. No, we want to play. It's like, well, you know, I mean, it was a semi-final that year, I suppose, so it was probably needed, but
Times have changed now, though.
yeah, I'm of the big opinion that, you know, you still got to look after facilities.
Yep.
Like as much as I want everyone to be out there playing cricket, you know, for a weekend or two that we've lost before Christmas, it's in the back end of the season. I think it's going to help us, you know, with our outfields and our pitches, as we've said, they're going along pretty good. We don't want to have one weekend where we just ruin it and it takes so long to then recover that come, you know, March, February, when we need that pitch again, it's not going to be up for any good, and then, you know, it's not going to get the work put into it. So unfortunately, yes, you know, guys miss out on a week of cricket. You know, we miss out on, you know, finances coming over, you know, through the canteen and stuff, but weighing up, you know, the cost of repairs of the fields to that, you know, to me it makes perfect sense. You know, call it early, you know, give everyone time to be able to just say, okay, it's done, I can go and do what I want on the weekend. So.
And what have you done so far? What have you implemented? I know you got is it the raffle, the numbers board?
Oh, yeah, the raffle board behind the bar. Yeah, it's just something of, you know, we've you know, spent a little bit of money at the start of the year to try and improve the facility. As people have seen, you know, we've put the high bars outside, the new seats outside as well, the new big double door to go out onto field one to, you know, let the beautiful breeze come through and so forth. And, you know, that little raffle that we do will just help, you know, a little few extra dollars every week or whenever it gets drawn to, you know, to go back in to keep doing those little things. You know, there's always little things that need to be done. You know, even if it's just changing lights or something, or fixing some taps, you know, like on the weekend we were lucky, we had a leak in tap and one of the junior parents just came and fixed it for us and said, no, all good, that's a donation. So, you know, like, unfortunately, you know, that didn't cost us, but if that did, could have been a major problem, you know, loss of water, cost. So, yeah, no, little things like that. You know, we've bought a new cover this week, which actually lobbed up today. New, you know, big size cover that'll go to field one, and then the one that's on field one will go to field.
They're not cheap, are
two.
they?
No, not cheap. $3,500. Which, you know, doesn't help when we had one stolen from Kendall's a week or so ago, which is very unfortunate. So if anyone out there sees a big white cover, please free to let us know where it is. Yeah, so, you know, we've done a few things. We so going along all right so far.
Ticking along. I like those high bars out there, especially when you got the day-nighters. Even for the Big Bash, you got people sitting out there and they can sit there. It's just something different, because some of those old bench seats have been there before you and I were around.
Yeah, so we got rid of the old bench seats.
Yeah, a few little tweaks around the place. I think it's, you know, and that little numbers board, you $100 here, $100 there. Just
you drop a catch, you got to buy your mate a square.
That's right.
Like that.
Yeah, something different.
Just,
a bit of fun.
I think with the bars outside, like me and Reece talked about earlier, that in the year it gets people out of the clubhouse as well. You know, so instead of just all sitting around the bar or sitting at the windows, you're actually outside and you're in the fresh air and you know, you're out there. So and you're right on like, as we all know, it's so close to the field. You don't get much, you know, better than that wherever you go. So I just think, except for Bill when he bashes on it and nearly breaks one, but other than that, it's all good.
So what's in the pipeline? What's in the future for the next 3 or 4 months?
Survival.
Yeah, no.
No rain.
No rain would be handy before Christmas. Yeah, hopefully, you know, get through these next 2 weekends, have a couple of weeks off, you know. I know Peter's got a fair bit of work that he wants to do over the Christmas break, you know, while we're off, you know, redoing, you know, coring the pitches and getting right into them and get them real freshen up for the next season. Got a few jobs that we want to get done. and really want to try and get this barbecue area done for when the vets cook the barbecue on Big Bash nights over near the canteen. So that's one of the projects I'd like to get done as soon as I can. Just need to find the right concreter to come and have time to be able to do it.
Yeah, they're busy, aren't
they? Yeah, you know, it's hard to get hold of them. So, but you know, and then we've got some bigger projects, you know, within the next year or so, with building a new shelter shed over on Field 4, with new seating. That one's been there forever. I've got some mesh to go along the fence over there to stop the balls going down into the drain, which, you know, need to get a few troops to help me put that up at some stage. But, you know, fixing the change rooms in the club, in the grandstand for female friendly. There's a couple being done already, but there's still 4 more to do. So we've got a grant in place, hopefully, to get that tidied up in the new year. So yeah.
All right, well, we're going to have a look at a bit of a wrap of what we've seen in the season so far. We'll kick off with the Big Bash. So the Heat out on top, probably pretty close to being locked into the final. They're on 6 points.
Yep.
Pies on 4, Vikings on 3, and the Taipans were just with the 1 washout point and 2 disappointing losses. But they do play 3 of the last 4 games, so they could come home,
And need to win
with
them
a
all.
bit of a wet sail. So, Matt, the Heat on top. You had a bit to do with the Heat in the last 4 seasons. I think you've been
Yeah.
involved with every season.
Yeah.
We won't say they're going well because you left. But,
they probably are. Yeah.
but no, it's good to see them being up and about.
Yeah. I know Wade's been, he's not the most passionate cricket man, as you would say, as a cricketer, but he loves being part of it. And he's, he hasn't over the years absolutely been worried that they haven't made the finals, but I think now he's actually like, I think it's about time that we need to, make the finals. And, they recruited a pretty good side. They're led pretty well. Arden's leading them around the park pretty well, but, they're all chipping in. So, good on him. I'm happy for him to be going well. It's good. We don't, as an association, I suppose, we don't want to see the one franchise winning all the time. You want to see it close, and you want to see everyone, stepping up each year and trying to take that title away from, whoever won the year before.
And that's why auction night's such a valuable thing to have, where you don't just keep your whole same squad. So obviously Buff and the Lankowski boys sat down and went, right, who are we going to go for? And they've got most of the players they wanted. So that's why we have an auction night, and you change the squads each year, and it keeps it interesting and vibrant. And you don't want the same team winning every year.
Yeah, it did hurt the first couple of years when we were there. The Heat, sort of their top 4 from the first year or first couple of years, decided then to have a year off.
Yeah.
Like the Ryan Norton, the Jared Laycocks, and it just hurt their bottom line. They didn't have their big gun that they had, so they, we sort of battled a fair bit. So it's good to see them, going well. Yeah.
And Brendan Hanley's probably been the standout with the bat, scored runs in every game he's played, 145 runs. And Mitchie Parsons, even though he's missed the game, he hasn't been out, and 2 not-out scores of 50 plus. So that's probably why the Pies and thereabouts, a couple of blokes there. In the runs, and Jeremy Haxman with 5 wickets just from the 2 games is leading the wickets. So.
Yeah, Mitchie's in pretty good form at the moment. He's, getting runs in senior cricket, getting runs here, and just playing good cricket at the moment. Yeah,
and I think they did pretty well there, the Pies, to get Hanley and Mitchie Parsons, probably 2 of the probably best batsmen in town, and playing on Friday night, and Mitchie seems to go all right at night time. They're
guys that they're not going to be your guys that are going to whack it over the grandstand. No. They can still, as you can see, score runs by playing just good cricket shots.
Yep.
Like, you don't have to go out there and be Ryan Norton and whack it over the grandstand all the time. You can just go out there and still score runs by just playing good cricket shots.
And they're scoring it better than a strike rate of 100. So, so I think Brendan Hanley's probably been around a bit longer than Mitchie, so he's got a lot of experience and knows that he doesn't have to hit 6s. You can hit the 4s every now and then. There's heaps of 2s on fill 1, even 3s even. So.
Yeah, except for the 1-6 where he broke the window, but anyway, that was all right.
Yeah, we won't go there. We've mentioned that.
Thanks, Brendan.
All right, moving on to First Division. Still a couple of weeks to go until the Christmas break, but Waves are on top, Brothers second, East third and North fourth. Sean Stutt's a bit of a surprise, probably leading the way with 402 runs, and Adam Posibon's really shot up in the last couple of weeks with back-to-back hundreds with 382, and Jaden Bond not far behind him with 376. So guys we sort of touch on each week, there and thereabouts in the runs. And Mitchie Waters coming off a six wicket haul in the last game. Shot up to 16.
I was wondering how he got to 16 with a bullet, because Bruce Worthington seems to pick up a few every week, doesn't he?
Yeah, and Bruce has missed a couple of games with his vets commitment.
6 for a lot, but
Oh,
mixed,
was it?
Yeah, there was 6 for a lot.
Yeah.
In good time.
6 for 60 something.
Yeah,
I think
it was. Yeah,
Off 7 overs or something, did I see that?
Probably 8.
Leave him
Yeah,
alone.
the captain.
Leave Mitchie
The
alone. he
captain
did all
probably
right.
should have dragged him after the first 2 overs when
Mate,
a couple of them went over into the church.
They had 400 on the board,
Yeah.
didn't they? So,
So yeah, be interesting to see how that next couple of weeks pans out. So,
from a personal perspective, to have brothers back up there, because I think they only won 2 games last year, and I know they've been trying to rebuild for a couple of years, but just to see the brothers and ATW, bit of a rivalry going again, like I've sat back and watched it and been disappointed that the brothers boys aren't getting across the line, and to only win 2 games last year in the whole season, and I think, well, I don't know what they've won there, 4 or 5 out of 6 or whatever, so from a personal perspective, but probably disappointed with Norths. I know they lost Nathan Van Eekeren,
Yep.
but I honestly thought that they'd be pushing for second.
because
but-
it's pretty much the bulk of their squad from last year. With
Yeah, not much has changed. I know everyone misses players each week. Maybe they haven't got the depth that maybe Brothers and Waves have got. If Brothers and Waves have got a couple of players out, Norths are probably stretched a little bit. But they've had a disappointing season, to be absolutely and brutally honest. And they'd admit that too. To go down, what 400 against Waves?
Yeah, 400.
And
yeah,
10
20.
people had a bowl. That's not good enough for Div 1, to be honest.
Yeah, it's there was. I didn't get to see a lot of it out there, but I got to see a fair bit. And yeah, unfortunately, from my point of view, it was pretty sad to see. Really,
Yeah.
like the defending premiers, you'd really want them to be really digging in. And I know it's hard when someone's out there knocking you around everywhere, but it's about showing some pride as you in yourself.
Yep.
As well, you're playing for a club. You got to be out there digging in and really putting in. So,
But they might learn a few lessons from that. And I honestly think after Christmas, if they can have a run where Brendan Hanley's there a lot and he can work in with Josh Winnan's been out with shin splint. So if they can keep the same team on the paddock, they could surpass East, come up in the third and give whoever's second place a real game in the
I
semi-final.
know we've said it all the time. Any of those 4 sides could win on any given day.
Absolutely.
Oh.
If someone has a day out,
yeah.
that's the game.
And touching on your thing where you were saying about brothers, it's been from my point of view as well. And yes, I've always been in opposition to brothers since I started playing. But it's great to see the youth in the brothers team coming through.
Yep.
And it's not just relying on you anymore as much as you don't want to play, but you help out, which is good. And that's something. And it's a bit like Sean Stutchbury with the Waves boys.
Yeah.
Just having that bit of a older head to teach young guys that as much as Sean does just whack it over the fence, he still has a good head on his shoulders when it comes to batting. And he helped.
And the fielding as well.
Yeah.
I think I stand at first slip and give a bit of advice, and they go, "Oh, I didn't think of that." And Sean probably does the same. You see things a bit differently because you've been around a while.
Yeah.
And it's probably good for everyone to have a few older players. You want your mixture of youth and experience. So, it's as much as I kick and scream and whinge it, I enjoy going out there and imparting a bit of knowledge. And I know Sean and a few of the other blokes at Waves, and even Norths and East, like Steely's still playing.
Eric Peterson's back having a game.
They've got young fellas coming through to learn from them and hold them in good stead in the future seasons for sure.
But it's good too because it's not relying on you anymore.
No.
Like it used to be a couple of years ago where it was pretty much if you didn't get any runs, no one got any runs. Where now you've got your Mitchie Parsons, your young bloke Ollie. You've got the young blokes there. They're actually batting well and getting runs and getting. You just have to go out there and you can just bat and help them along and so forth. And similar to Sean. At the start, I suppose, when the top order weren't really, even Lukey Owen to an extent. Lukey opening the bat now for Waves. It's just giving him a bit of an older head just to go out there. Same again, not having to bash the ball over the fence all the time, just accumulating runs. And it's very easy to do. Like if you really want to dig, if you really want to dig in and run hard and hit the gaps, you'll score runs.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to Division 2. Brothers are sitting pretty on top of the ladder there. Waves, we've mentioned last week, jumped into second, with North third and East fourth. Julian Bond, 222 runs, leading the way. So the Bond father and son duo there are
Yeah.
getting amongst the runs. Daniel Unwin with a pretty good start to the year, sitting second with 209. And then the wickets, another old veteran, John Howard with 12.
The Prime Minister, John Howard.
No, I think John. Didn't
with
think
his
our John
bowling.
Howard bowled a bit better than our
You
John
know
Howard.
what he's-
Will Barrett with 11, but I know Will's been playing a bit of Division 1 lately.
Yep,
So Damien O'Neill and Brodie Coates on 10. So Damien, another, I suppose we can call him a veteran. He won't mind us calling him
Oh,
a veteran.
yeah.
And then young Brodie's, as we said, been having a stellar year. So
Well, I reckon Brody will, if he'll be knocking, as we said, he's banging down the door to play a bit of Div 1. And Will Barrett actually bowled for East the other week. And when I was batting, he was the hardest bowler to get away. So you mightn't see Will playing too much more Div 2. And, if things change a bit at Waves, if you have a few injuries or a few people away, I'd like to see Brody with his little outies to a right-hander. And he can obviously bat a little bit as well.
Yeah, he's come along leaps and bounds since playing Div 2 last year with us, and took a really big wicket in the grand final, bowled someone round his legs, which helped us out really well. But yeah, he came along leaps and bounds, and like you said, he five for last week and a 50 odd with a hat trick. He's a great young kid. He's very quiet. He just sort of just sits back and relaxes, and then it's like, oh, right, it's time to
Pretty
bowl.
casual.
Yeah, pretty casual old bros.
I haven't
but
seen him for a while. Is he shot up like all the
oh
young
yeah,
fellas?
he's
He's pretty tall.
Yeah, he's getting tall.
Probably
Yeah,
gets a bit of bounce too. So
yeah. So he's worked
what
on his
taller than Dad?
yeah. He's worked on his run up a bit with Brucey Deem and
Okay.
stuff. So yeah, for 16.
first year of seniors.
Well, yeah,
him.
pushing right
So,
up there.
yeah.
Out of juniors. Yeah, no, he's going real good.
Yeah. In Division 3, YMCA out on top. Waves have moved into clear second, with East third, Brothers fourth, and Ice are sitting in fifth. The blokes we mention each week, Lex Webster, 307 runs, and Scott Willing with 257 at an average of 85.6. So
Wow.
he's going, and wickets old Brett Woodward with 19 and Lex Webster again with 15. So you can see why YMCA is at the top of the tree there.
And there's a bit of a
thought
juggling act there with Brett. He played Div 1 for East last week, and he looked at home. So I don't know
I
what's
thought
going
he
to
was
happen.
a batsman, and he's got 19
There.
wickets.
He's got 9. Yeah, he's.
I didn't think
all-round.
anyone could get him out batting.
Yeah, well, they can't.
So
No, it's good. I think that competition's really good as well. Like, there's a good mix of, all different types of players. You have your young blokes coming through, you have your older fellas who are, just there to have a good time and then just enjoy playing cricket. And then, the new East team that's come in with the all the guys from Indian descent, then they're having a ball. They're loving it.
Everyone's
So-
talking about them.
Yeah, yeah. Just got to get them numbers on their jersey so we know who they are. Yeah.
But no, so heading a couple of weeks into Christmas, it's pretty interesting competition, even with some individual stuff.
And it's good to see 3 different clubs on top in
Yeah.
each division. So, the days gone by, it would be one club, but to have YMCA doing pretty well there in Div 3, it'd be interesting to see what happens with Brett Woodward, but he might, they've got to
Yeah.
make a call there.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're not going to let Matt get away unscathed here.
Okay.
It's now time for our 60 seconds with Grillsy with Bundy Cricket President Matthew Fleming.
Rightio.
Can you survive the 60 seconds with Grills?
Okay.
Rightio. So you played cricket for a very long time. What would be your favourite cricketing memory?
I'd have to say my first grade debut, I filled in for first grade against Brothers, and I batted number 10 with Andrew Gear, and I came out and I got my first runs off Mick Ward, and I hit a 3 through
Wonder where the next one went.
No, I was not out because Geary got out the next end. I think he got out the next ball after the 3.
Okay.
So that was me. I was petrified because as I had never played against Mick before, and we all know how good a bowler Mick was, and he'd skittled us, everyone else that day with the top country guys that we had back then with Flanders and Wall and Jonesy and everyone. And yeah, I hit a 3 off my first ball, so I was pretty happy with that.
All right. So the best person you've ever played cricket with on or off the field? A bit of both.
Geez, off the field there's been plenty. On the field, I'd probably say early on it was probably Brett Flanders, early on, because he did teach me a hell of a lot when I first came playing in A grade for West back in the day. So yeah, you know, Ned was a fairly handy bat, and he was only a little fella, but he you know, took everything, you know. And back in that day, those early days when, you know, there was Mick and Drinky and you know, guys were bowling pretty rapid, you know, and he was taking a fair bit, you know, and holding up the country sort of middle order back in those days. So yeah, Ned was.
He was the big wicket, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. You know, he was pretty handy. He won a Talon medal and so forth. So he was a pretty handy cricketer, and he was, yeah, really good for us. Yeah,
Yep.
really good for me.
Even though most of us pretty well know you, but what keeps you busy in your spare time away from cricket?
Probably my two boys. They're twins. It was their birthday today, actually. They're 11, so with, you know, them running around now playing the sport I love in basketball as well, and I'm helping them, coaching them. So pretty much between them guys and my running club, with my people that I go running with and so forth, that's that's my mental health time when I go running.
Yep. All right, your specialty dish in the kitchen.
Oh, bangers and mash.
Easy.
That's about it.
Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Yeah, don't really care. I eat it anyway. It doesn't matter.
Right. The best piece of advice you've ever been given?
Don't quit.
Yep.
Just, you know, even if you're getting flogged, if you're busted when you're running, just don't quit. Keep going. Do whatever you can. Don't stop. You know, hit the finish line.
Yep. And the last one, we like this one. If you could invite 3 people to have dinner with you, dead or alive, who would they be?
Ooh, I did think about this the other week when Jardy was saying, I've said it before, and these are the 3 I'd have: Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, and Michael Voss.
Yep.
3 Michaels.
Yep.
No Michael Loader?
No Michael Loader. No, I couldn't fit him in. He said only 3.
Only 3. No.
I'd fit Michael Cole in before Michael Loader.
All right, Matt Fleming, thanks for sending 60
No
seconds
worries.
with Grillsy.
Thanks, Grillsy.
All right. Also, thanks for coming in.
No worries, mate.
No
Thank
doubt
you.
we'll catch you around the ridges, and we'll try to get you in before the end of the season, do a bit of a full season wrap. And
Yeah, you know, just hope everyone, you know, is enjoying it. Hope everyone's enjoying the live stream on a Friday night. You know, as much as I'd love to see more people out there actually watching it live, I think it's one of the best initiatives Bundaberg Cricket's probably, you know, and ever done. You know, and a credit to the work in the background from Sean Rose and these guys here. You know, I think it's fantastic. No complaints about anything from anyone about it. So I think we just keep pushing forward. You know, if anyone has anything to ask me, I'm always approachable. You know, come and see me if you think we need to do something. You know, come and tell me. Let me know if you think there's an idea that we can have. More than happy to throw it out there and have a crack at doing something. Yeah, so yeah, keep up the good work, guys.
You're doing a good job.
Yeah, thank you.
It's a big role, and as I said, it's a thankless job, and he's a volunteer and spends a lot of time out there, whether it's behind the bar or watching that fellas are rolling up the covers properly. I think we're getting there.
It's during the week as well.
Yeah. It's all behind the scenes, and some of us cricketers can just turn up and play cricket. But there's a lot of stuff before we can get on the field. A lot happens behind the scenes.
I like, you know, any time I can, I always try and get out there and potter around and do something. You know, if it's moving wheelie bins or if it's, you know, fixing this and fixing that, I'll always, you know, try and find some time to get out there and do something. So, yeah, it's good.
Righto. Thanks, Matt. Okay, after the break, we've got JB Morning Show announcer. JB coming in. This could be dangerous. Righto, we'll see you after the break.
There's one name across our region that's synonymous with all things hospitality: Rum City Foods. And with more than 50 staff and 4,500 square metres under one roof, Rum City Foods stocks everything. They've got the lot: Paul's Milk, frozen products, packaged foods, dairy, bakery, drinks, chemicals, and all the hospitality packaging you need. Rum City Foods are a proud member of Countrywide Australasia. Find them at rumcityfoods.com.au or at their massive new premises on Commercial Street, Bundaberg.
See Taggle Vans, your family-owned caravanning experts, for the popular New Age caravan range. Walkinshaw designed and engineered for superior strength and reliability. Start your adventures today with a New Age caravan from Dale and the team at Tackle Vans to Calvin Street, Bundaberg.
Hello and welcome back to the show. And we got a second special guest in for this evening. Most of you may know him from Triple M Mornings with JB and Jules. We've got JB in. Welcome, mate.
Thank you. Head for radio. Here it is on TV. Maybe do makeup. Never done that before.
Oh, well, there's a first for everything.
I reckon I'll head home and see what the missus thinks of it. If she likes it, I'll come and visit the makeup ladies each and every week and
They do a good job.
see
They
how we
need
go.
to be good at
See
their
how we
trade.
go. I mean, we're not wearing makeup. They always look like this. They always look this good. Have I ruined it for you?
No, not at all. A couple of rough heads here as well already.
Yeah.
So-
Pleasure to be here, boys. Thanks for having me.
No, well, welcome. So, what's your cricketing background? Probably none, but
Yeah, 4/5 of stuff all in the cricketing arena. I'm all about Christmas Day. Get one straight down middle stump. If you can take out your uncle when you're 10 years old, throw a bouncer at him. That's about my history of cricket. Played bugger all, but a big fan of watching it. Obviously, growing up, loved the one days. It was coming in at sort of glory days of the one days for Australia, and then T20 sort of taken off the last little bit, but gotten a bit older, and as you get older you start loving the test cricket a bit more. It's the pure form, and so more of a fan than a player. So don't give me a bat, don't give me a ball unless it's in a backyard. I have a beer in the other hand. That's about it.
one-handed cricket.
What's the go
One-handed
with the
cricket.
shirt? You must be a cricket supporter.
Well, I am. I've been
What's
in.
the story there?
Well, we've been involved. So with the Aussie Bundy Big Bash, when I moved to Bundy, we found out that we were linked in with this competition, right?
Yep.
And heard about the 4 teams. We got them all on the Brekkie show, all of the owners of the 4 teams.
Yep.
At that time, Ben Searle was in charge of Searle's RV Centre Vikings, and so we've got him on, and we do these what we call bowl predictions about the NRL each and every week on the show. And basically, we're terrible. We're useless. We never get them. We suck. And so the last question to every owner of every team was, why should we support your team? Now, we had Billy Moorhead. He said, because we're the best there is, up the Pies, let's go.
Yep.
We had Wade from Better Heat going, we're good team. And then what happened? I had Dale, and he was the same. Taipans, they're the way to go.
Yeah.
But it was Ben Searle, and he said, the last thing I want is you to be a supporter of my team because your tips are useless, and if you're cheering us on, we won't win a game. And so I got a shirt, and I've been a fan
The
ever
old
since.
reverse psychology.
Yeah. Well, maybe he had me. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was an intentional move, but he got me on board from that day, and love the bloke Benny Searle. So a big shout out to Ben, who's had some health issues himself, and big thanks to Dale, who's taken over the Searle's RV Centre Mighty Vikings.
Yeah.
And we kind of got you play for them, don't you? And my young fella plays for Searle, so you've got
allowed
an okay. You're okay. You're right. But if that black and white shirt was on, you mightn't have got in the
Never.
in the room,
No,
mate.
burn
so.
off my body, that thing. Don't worry about that.
No, so you haven't been out. I've noticed you haven't been out to a game this year, but you've been out before. I thought we might have seen you there for the ladies' night.
Oh, mate, yeah, I thought about it. So obviously, the news is out now that I'm heading back up north, and so every day I'm just packing up stuff. And then I've lined up 2 games, and I've looked outside and bloody washout. So we've had the 2 washouts this season, which has sort of impacted the list a bit and the flow of everything. But I missed ladies' night last year. I don't know if I would have been allowed back in after last year, actually. So don't worry about that.
Good night.
Yeah, it was a good night.
No, it was a good night once
Yeah.
again. As
Thank
you
you,
said, Dale,
Kalki,
Dale and Katie are doing a great job.
Yeah,
Job out
absolutely.
there at Searles. So as you said, you're moving on from us.
Yeah.
Heading off, packing up, heading back up north.
Selling out.
Selling out.
Selling out to the man.
Yeah.
But so I grew up on the Tablelands up near Cairns there. So it's a bit of a homecoming for me, and I guess Triple M Cairns approached me with the opportunity. Wife got a job in the hospital up there, and it all suited too well. But it's bittersweet because as much as we come here and they're like, we want you to embrace the community, genuinely wanted to get involved, and I think we genuinely have, Jules and myself, and the community's been so good back to us, and it sucks to leave, and it sucks to take off, but I think in the time we've had here, done the best possible job I could have hoped for. So.
And I think he has embraced the community, some of the things you hear on the radio, and getting Billy and Dale and all the owners in, it looks like you're involved. So I think, you'll be sorely missed. So
Thanks,
hopefully everything goes well for you in Cairns. Be a bigger, like a promotion, I guess, bigger place up in Cairns.
Yeah, so in the radio world, it is a bit of it is a step up,
Yep.
and it's it is a promotion in a lot of ways, but you also can't get away with as much, so we'll see if I can hurl abuse in social sports up there, get away with it. But
It's good you're moving home too.
Yeah,
you know, so
closer to family.
everyone's
closer to-
happy. Yeah. So You'll
got
be
a team
sorely
up,
missed.
Thanks,
team
guys.
up there you'll pull the boots on for after playing with Waves here?
Yeah, so I played a season for Across the Waves Tigers. So Antonio Kafusi was our coach, and I sort of went there and thought I'd run some water. I'd kick around. My goal was I was getting a bit flogged out and fat, and my knees were hurting too much, and so I wanted to do more training. So I thought I'd go to footy training and maybe strap on for reserve grade if they needed a player. But ended up getting called into the A grade squad. Broke my nose in game 1, and someone yelled from the other team, why don't you go and tell that on the radio Monday morning? And I did. And then, 2 games later, got sin binned for hurling a bit of banter. And player on the other team said, typical radio announcer talking too much.
Smack.
Bleep, yeah. But as well as that, we talk about embracement from the community. The same bloke that broke my nose I had a beer with and is now a mate, and that's what sport's about, especially in a place like Bundy, and the same flows over into all elements of cricket here too.
Yeah, it was. Especially the guys from all the clubs coming together to play in Big Bash. We've got 4 different clubs of teams of blokes, and it's just sort of really embraced the cricket community.
Yeah, and what's cool is there's like they can retain only a couple, so you see the rotation of a few players, and so they all start to get to know each other, and it blends it even more. They've all played with, against, and it makes that banter less aggressive, more fun, and that's what this comp's sort of all about, which I love.
Absolutely. There's some blokes that I played with I never thought I'd play with. We were into each other for many, many years, but it's kind of, I think it's a bit like the IPL, I guess. Like Coley and some of the Aussies didn't get on, but, they've mixed, and look at Simons and Harbhajan Singh. They end up playing in the same team, which is unbelievable. So it breaks down a lot of barriers, doesn't it? So I think it's been a good concept for Bundy cricket, and and you've obviously enjoyed it as well. So it's been really good.
Yeah. All right, well, we got you in. We're going to talk a bit of Big Bash. The BBL kicks off next Tuesday, so we're going to run through a few things and see if we can pick a winner. Obviously, a few changes around the thing. I guess the biggest one to kick off at the top is the big move of Chris Lynn.
Yep.
Moving from the Heat over to the Strikers, moving to Adelaide. I don't know. What do you guys think?
What do you reckon? I reckon it's...
Well, he's the constant... I don't want to say disappointment, but he frustrates the living hell out of you. So I go for the Heat in the Big Bash, being the Queensland team. And you see him flog it out of the stadium and you go, I love this bloke. And then the next week he's out for 4 and you're going, damn it, what is this bloke doing? But I think overall he will be missed. He has won him a fair few games over the years. And how long have you been at the Heat since it started?
I think he was an inaugural player, so
well,
11 seasons.
him and McCallum were the Bash brothers, so they had a bit of a following, didn't they? But probably the last couple of seasons for Chris Lynn hasn't been great, but the problem is getting someone to step up. Like I would have loved to have seen Ben McDermott come back home. Yep. Craig McDermott's young fella, he's scoring hundreds, and that's the thing Chrissy Lynn hasn't done for a while. I don't know when the last time he scored 100 for the Heat.
Good 3 or 4
It'd be a long time, so I guess they've got a few young fellas, and hopefully Khawaja plays a little bit this season. So obviously they've thought about it and said, right, we'll replace him with whoever. And as you've got here, there's Maxwell and Marsh are out for the entire comp. So Maxwell's probably, one of the most destructive batsmen in Australia.
And 50th birthday party guest.
Yeah, 50th birthday party, yeah. So,
well, he's not destructive, whoever the other guy was.
So that's a big out. And Mitch Marsh, he's injured as well.
Yeah, he's had surgery last week on an ankle, so he's out for about 3 or 4 months, I believe. So I think he even misses the Indian tour later on in the season. So.
But you're going to get blokes step up.
Yeah.
I think, we've got a few Brizzy Heat players that have been disappointing for a while, but hopefully they step up. So someone's going to step up. Yeah. Finch is on the way out as well. So there'll be a young buck come in and we'll go, right, he's the next Chris Lynn, hopefully.
Well, we saw that with Tim David last year, didn't
absolutely.
we? He was the one that sort of really took the ball by the horns and just said, let's go, and he made his way into the national setup now. So
Lynn will probably go and score hundreds.
He will.
You watch him,
I
he'll
just
dominate.
know it. I just know he's going to be awesome for that team. But we'll love it. 44 days, I think it is, without a day of cricket off, other than Christmas. And it gives you that holiday feeling. You get home, you have an excuse for a beer every day. Can I give my tip?
Yeah, go on.
Perth, I think.
This is your bold prediction.
This is my bold
They're
prediction.
wooden
Can we
spooners.
call it a bold prediction if they were premiers last year?
He's not going out on a limb.
No.
Come on, give us something rough.
Well, I like the. Well, I'll say the Heat because I think that's pretty rough.
Yeah, that
behind
is rough.
that, so I'll go one either way. But I reckon Perth have got it in the bag. Cameron Green, do you know much about how much he will be involved with his involvement in the international stage? Is he going to be doing much?
I don't even think he'll have a pretty busy
Not a
test
lot.
schedule. So
I think
no.
Davey Warner and co, if they're playing a bit of test match cricket,
Yep.
they won't play a lot of.
Well, they've got Bancroft. Jai Richardson seems to be just a freak in BBL for some reason. And is it Duplessis is there?
Yeah.
He's coming off.
Faf,
The
yeah.
international for about the first half of the season. So.
Yeah, so I reckon they're looking, on paper anyway, the team to beat.
I think the Hurricanes. Hurricanes they've got Billy Stanlake, Nathan Ellis, Riley Meredith. There's 3 pace spearheads that could really take a game on, and with Tim David being around as well, I think they might go all right this year.
Ben McDermott, he'll be playing
Matthew
for him.
Wade. So
Yep, I think McDermott scored a few centuries last year. So Billy Stanlake's been around for a while and hasn't really been too destructive. But in saying that, Nathan Ellis and Riley Meredith, he bowls some good wheels. So yeah, I think they're a good bowling lineup. But the bowlers, if the faster they bowl, the quicker they can go off the bat too. So if they get it right, they'll be a good team.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. And Trent Bolt coming over for the Stars. It was a pretty good signing. The Renegades have got Andre Russell and Martin Guptill replacing Liam Livingston. So there's a few big names coming over.
Guptill goes well. He's not finished yet.
Yeah. So who's your tip? JB's on the Heat. I'm on the Hurricanes.
I like the Hurricanes only because I love Ben McDermott. I like him. So, Hurricanes.
These are both going Hurricanes.
Yeah, I know, it's a bit soft, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. Well,
Yeah.
I thought
I can't go
on
for
TV shows. I thought like you had to pre-discuss
I
and
can't.
all pick something
I
different.
can't tip a New South Wales. I can't tip a Sydney side because Queenslanders just don't tip New South Wales. If it's not the Hurricanes, who is the Stars? I'd have to go with the Stars because Warnie was one of my main men. He had a good association with the Stars, so I'll go them. Right, I'll go the Stars. There you go. I'm off the Hurricanes.
I like that.
Keep you happy.
All right. Yeah, well, that all kicks off next Tuesday. So, 40 odd days of cricket in a row. So strap in and keep plenty of beers in the fridge.
I don't know how the Heat draw looks. I'm going to a game on the 23rd of December, but I think because they share with Metricon a little bit, so the Brisbane people don't get as many games at the Gabba. So hopefully they can, when they're at the Gabba, they can produce because Metricon, they're going all right, but I think we don't see as much cricket at the Gabba anymore because they're sharing the stadium. So we'll see how we go.
I don't know if they're heading north at all. They're playing any games up north.
I'm not sure.
Not too sure.
Haven't got that far yet.
No.
Are there any stadiums further north that could host it, I guess? Do they
I
have
know
huge
Mackay
demands
hosts
in
a
the
bit of the
BBL?
ladies BBL. And they've played some internationals in Townsville and Cairns.
Yeah, the
so.
Kazali.
Actually, I believe there is a game in Cairns around the same time as the 16s Bulls Masters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They may be
It's all about the lighting. Like I know Mackay, Harrop Park is a sensational venue, but I don't know whether they've got the standards to have an international game. Like the women can play there, so I don't see why the blokes can't play there. So I don't know. There's a few overseas, like Majib from the Heat. Big Dre Russ got picked up in the end because he wasn't picked up originally, was he? So there's a few players coming in. James Vince.
Renegades will have Aaron Finch all tournament.
Yeah.
Now retired from from international cricket.
Well, that'll be his focus now, won't it?
Yep. He might go all right.
He might. Well, the shackles off.
Yep.
Without that, because he seemed to buckle under pressure of the captaincy and the international stage. So maybe this is his chance to, I guess, take the shackles off. Finchy might be a dark horse in this comp.
And is that Riley Rousseau? Is he the left-hander from South Africa?
they got 100.
He can play. I thought South Africa would win the T20 because I liked him. They had a good, strong batting lineup. So the Thunder, you never know.
All right, we'll see how it all unfolds, and I'm sure we'll have plenty to talk about after Christmas. All right. Well, JB, thanks for coming in.
Thank you, boys.
We wish you all the best in the move, and I'm sure we'll see you down in Bundy at one day soon, and we'll get you back out to the cricket.
Well, it's locked and loaded. Every year, me and the missus will be coming down for a trip at some point. Stay at Bagara there. Hopefully see a cricket game. So, yeah, for those who thought you got rid of me, Not completely. So thanks for having me on, boys.
No,
Appreciate it.
and all the best, and thanks for all your support with Triple M and what you've done for promotion of the Big Bash over the last 3 years you've been here.
My absolute pleasure. Thanks for having me, guys. Cheers.
All right, we got another masterclass segment, David.
Yep.
Front foot play tonight.
Yep. Essential front foot, especially in Bundaberg. The pitches don't bounce too much, so always tell the young fellas coming out to seniors, go try and play as much as you can on the front foot. So I think this is what we need for some of us old blokes as well, and especially the Bundaberg cricketers.
Yep. So thanks to the Bulls Masters and PD Cricket, here's tonight's masterclass.
Hello, Peter Drennan here with Andrew Goad on behalf of the Bulls Masters and PD Cricket. The fundamentals within the game of cricket are so important, so sit back and learn as myself and Andrew take you through 7 shots that are so important to any batsman within the game.
The basic fundamentals of front foot play.
First of all, you want a late movement. This late movement is led by the head into the line of the ball, creating a nice balanced position below the batsman. You'll see the back leg is relatively straight and raised onto the toe, allowing all the weight to come forward over a flexed front leg. Okay, and from this position, okay, you're looking to bring the bat through the line of the ball with a strong top wrist with impact right below the eye line. And you can see the angled blade there, which will result in the ball heading down. Okay, the top wrist, vital to be nice and strong, which gives you the bat control that you need, square face, meeting the ball for the best outcome you're looking for. From there, it's an extension of the hands right through the line of the ball, okay, with the weight staying forward over the front leg. Fantastic execution of the shot.
Your foot's different, so your best shoe isn't the same as someone else's. Getting the right shoe makes all the difference. It means less pain, better movement, less fatigue and less injury. At FootMotion, our experienced and caring team use the latest technology to match your unique fit and movement to the right shoe. Whether it's for work, running, school or walking, we're here for the whole family. Don't compromise. Experience FootMotion today.
Hi, I'm AJ, host of the Wide Bay ITV's music show called The Music Scene. The Music Scene's all about meeting and getting to know the local musicians in the Wide Bay area and also a few visiting artists. So why don't you join me each week for The Music Scene.
Hello and welcome back to the show. Now it's time for another guest on the panel. We've got young gun from the Brothers and YMCA Cricket Clubs, Lachlan Haycox. Welcome, Lachlan.
Thanks, Reece. Thanks for having me.
It's all right. Been a big first half of the season for yourself. Plenty of cricket between under 16, senior cricket, Wood Tabs. Haven't had much time at home, especially on weekends.
Not really.
So we'll just touch on the Tab season. How do you think you went? You've only got one win at the end. We had Ned in. Probably thought you probably underachieved a little bit. We could probably say in the end with the squad that you had after last year. How do you think you went?
Yeah, I think it was disappointing, to be honest. I think we didn't perform to our potential. I think we could have beat some of those teams. Like I think the season before that we won 4 games, I believe, and we played a few of those teams this year and we lost, but we beat them the year before. There was a few teams we had close losses to that we thought we could beat this year, but we just didn't perform well enough.
Couldn't get over the line.
Yeah,
I think 1 win and 4 the year before.
Yeah.
I thought they would have been a bit.
Yeah, there was a few games there. You were probably, as you said, were in positions that you could have won, but just needed someone to kick on and make that big score. No, it's something you've got another year of Tabs, so hopefully you can put in a better performance. Well, Wide Bay can get.
He's been going all right.
Oh, of course he has. Yeah, no. Last week we had the Schoolboys Carnival in Bundaberg. 2.5 days. It got unfortunately washed out. You were meant to play off for 5th and 6th, I believe so, on the last day.
Okay.
How do you think apart from the washouts?
Yeah, I think we did all right. We had a disappointing loss to Sunny Coast the first day. We lost by about 12 runs, I believe. We kept in the 180, which we thought was pretty good because Sunny Coast is always a strong team. But we lost 4 wickets before lunch. So we had to bat for about 7 overs before lunch.
4 wickets and 7 overs.
We lost 4 wickets. So
makes it tricky.
Yeah, I was batting 6 and I was in before I was in before lunch.
He had the feet up ready to have a salad roll, and he's sorry, Lockie, you were to go and bat. Did you have to bat long before lunch?
No, I went last over. So
it's not. You're on a hiding to nothing when you have to go and bat for 7 overs. It's just, it's not good as a batsman, but as a bowler, and you can be up, can't you? Like if the shoe was on the other foot, it would have been nice. But I think you got runs that day at 70.
Yeah,
did you get runs that day?
Yeah, 70 odd, I think.
70 odd out of how many?
166, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So well, pretty 160 chasing. That's not too bad. So, and what about the second day?
Second day we played Capricornia. We batted first. We got off to a good start. Then we consolidated in the middle and made about 200 in the end, I think.
Oh wow!
Actually, it might have been 220. Yeah, about 220. Which we thought was a good score. Then Capricornia came out to bat, and it was ebbed and flowed a lot. Like we took wickets, then they consolidated, then we took wickets, and in the end we won by about 20 runs, I believe.
Okay.
It was a good win. We bowled them out with about 3 or 4 overs left, I think.
Okay.
So yeah,
good win.
Yep. And then the third day, I think he's got a half a game, and he's a bit under the pump there against Darling Downs, and it was the real drizzly day that was a bit ordinary. So no.
Well, he must have done all right because they picked the Queensland side at the end of it.
Yeah.
And you made that.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And where are you off to for Queensland?
I'm not sure. So we're not sure if they're playing anyone yet.
Okay.
I think they're trying to get ACT or Victoria.
Okay.
It might be New South Wales.
Yep.
So hopefully we can get one of those to play.
It'd be nice, you know, with COVID and everything, you pick a merit side, but it'd be nice to go out and actually wear the maroon cap and perform for your state. So fingers crossed they sort someone out. You can make a few phone calls. You can pull some strings, mate. We'll get Casper. We'll get Casper from last week. Yeah. He might help us out.
Yeah, because second year selection in the same side in the under 15 side. I don't think he's went away last year with COVID and different things either. So yeah, just be good to get away and play somewhere.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So your form this year, you've been going pretty well in under 16s and Division 1, taking a few wickets and scoring a few runs. How are you finding that transition? You played a little bit of First Division last year, but being a permanent fixture this year, how are you finding that?
It's good. I think we've got a good team at Brothers. Got a few people across and a few new people. It's been a good competition this year. I think Waves has obviously been a tough team to play, but we've beat them, they've beat us. North's losing Nathan Van Eekeren to, I think it was Sunny Coast.
Yep.
So I think they've been struggling a little bit, and then East have been doing all right. Probably unlucky not to have a few more wins. It's been good. I've enjoyed playing Div 1 with the Brothers teams.
When he can get there, because he has to finish juniors first, so sometimes I have to go out and field, and when Lockie comes, I thank God, Lockie. Thank God you're here. Come on and field, mate. And I see you averaging 126 in under 16, so I think you've only been out a few times.
Yeah.
And for Div 1, he comes in, where have you been batting for Div 1 about?
6 or 7.
6 or 7, and he's averaging 35, so that's pretty good coming in at 6 or 7. He's iced a couple of games as well, so I think you got a 48. Did you get a 48 not out with it?
Yeah, against East.
Against East, so he's going pretty well, and he's been, poor bugger comes out and he plays juniors all morning. The other day he had to bowl into the wind, so yeah, it's a long day if you play juniors and then play seniors, and then Lord Tabs on the Sunday. It's a long weekend.
Yeah.
Do you ever get to sleep?
Doesn't feel like
Any
it.
housework at home? I'm sure Mum and Dad look after him at home. He's all right.
Yeah. So he's off to Cairns next week with the Bulls Masters Youth Cup. Change of scenery.
Yeah.
Not a lot of the sides from this way do get a chance to head north very often these days, obviously with the Southern and Northern Challenges. So how you expecting to go up there?
I think we'll do all right. Last year, I can't remember where we came, but I think it was about fourth or fifth. We beat Met Southwest, which are usually, they've won it a few times in our age group. They're usually a pretty strong team. So we managed to beat them last year, so I think we'll do all right.
Different conditions up in Cairns. Mind you's been hot here in Bundaberg this week, as you'd know, but Cairns will be probably fairly humid, but he's as fit as a fiddle, and hopefully the other fellas can follow suit. I think we've got a couple of Bundy boys in the
I think
team
there's
as well.
8 from Bundy
8
in the side. Yeah,
Okay.
There is quite a few.
Okay, so they've obviously they'll gel well because they play with each other, against each other every week.
11 of the squad from this year played last year as 15.
Okay, so there's no, you'll know everyone, and I think they'll do quite well.
Yeah,
they've been doing well in the QJCA and doing it in the from under 12s. This cohort coming through have done pretty well, so it'd be interesting to watch.
Yeah, I think Sunny Coast will be pretty strong. You think they'll be the team to beat? They won it last year, obviously with a different group, but they had a pretty strong TAVs set up, so I think they'll be there and thereabouts again.
Yeah, they've always been a strong team. It's always good to beat Sunny Coast. We haven't done it very often, but it's always a good day when we do. And yeah, they'll be up there. They'll be one of the better teams at the comp, and I think they'll probably be the team to beat.
Arch rivals.
Yeah.
They like beating us.
Wide Bay Sunny Coast final, wouldn't that be
sweet? Go Lockie. Hopefully they're going to live stream some games.
Yeah, there will be some live stream games through the Bulls Masters website.
Yeah, I have to watch that.
Or Bulls Masters Facebook page, I believe. So jump on there and check out the boys.
And who do you reckon we can look out for in the Youth Cup in your team?
Toby Lamond.
Yep.
He's up there.
He's been going pretty well in Lord Tab's, got a couple of 50s.
Yep, and same in juniors as well. He's been going well. Sam Stutchbury's going well in 16s. Cooper Rabine.
Yep.
Aidan White. You can almost name the whole team. I think most of the players have been performing well in juniors, and I think a lot of them are playing seniors as well.
Yep.
So I think it's probably hard to name one player to look out for, because I think there'll be a few that are looking to have an impact.
Yep. Any hard questions for him?
Right.
Can I throw a hard question
at him? You can throw as many questions as you like.
Who's the best cricketer you've played with in Bundy, and why am I?
Probably would be you.
Oh, look at that! He's a good kid. We get him on every week. I'm only joking, but he has been a whippet in the field for many years, and as a strong junior coming through, he's not out of place in Div 1. He played Div 1. You played a bit of Div 1 last year, as Reece just said. So, and I've batted with him a few times. We've enjoyed batting out there together.
How did you go running?
Ask him. How'd I go running?
It wasn't too bad.
Wasn't too bad. I know whoever bats with Lockie Haycox, you go loosen the hamstrings because he's going to make you run. Mind you, in playing on field 2 a couple of times, the ground's small, so we haven't had to run any threes. So you're always on your ball, and we've had a few good little partnerships, and he's got a good head on him, and he knows when to play the big shot and when to tuck the bat under and grit it out. So and bowls well. So I can see why he's making Queensland sides, and hopefully in the future, like we had Lucy on last week playing for the Brizzy Heat. This kid lives and breathes cricket, and I know a few people in Brisbane that have been looking at him, and you're probably going to finish schooling here in Bundy. What year are you
Year
in?
10 now, so I just finished year 10. So
okay, so 2 more years of schooling, and I'm sure there'll be a few Brizzy A-grade clubs chasing him, and hopefully he'll get picked up and get in a good system, and you never know, we might have him back with a little teal green shirt like Lucy. So all the best in the future, mate, and all the best next week. Do us proud.
All right, well, while we got you in, we might do a little bit of a look at the QJC sides that are heading away next week as well, and get a few thoughts. So we got the under-12s that are heading to Gympie to play under the coach of Richmond Felstead. Played a couple of trial games. They've probably struggled a little bit, but I'm sure it's a different, going from that 30-over cricket, that 50-over cricket. But I'm sure they'll go well down there, and couple of players I think we should be on the lookout for is young Tillman. We seem to mention him every week around
every week.
So
every week.
Hopefully, and big James Cronin. I think you get down to them championships and you see a boy that's a foot taller than everyone else. There's a little bit of fear factor when you get down there. You can relate to that.
Yeah, certainly can.
Yeah, he's a big boy, James. So if he can get it right, I'm assuming he's going to be opening the bowling. So he gets it right. he'll do well. And Tillman, well, he's good with the bat and the ball, isn't he? So, do they pick a Queensland side? Do you know? No. So, yep, 2 good names to look out for. Absolutely.
Right, the under-13s are off to Bayside Eastern Redlands. Yep. Down to the Bears under coach Adam Kratzman. Adam made the move from Harvey Bay back out to the South Burnett, back onto the farm. They've had 2 good wins in their 2 trial games. They beat Sunshine Coast.
Oh.
And then they also beat Darling Downs.
Okay.
They should go all right.
Yeah, well, young Byron goes all right.
Yeah.
We talked about him, and at training before, Ashley Lamont bowls leg spinners, and he turns it an absolute... I'd never actually seen him bowling in the nets, and he does turn it a long way. Leggies usually do, but I was surprised how far he is turning it. So he lives and breathes cricket like this bloke here, Ashley Lamont. So Toby's younger brother. So, yeah, 2 good players to watch out for.
Keep an eye on them next week. The under-14s are off to the Southport School at the Gold Coast. Coach Justin Geldard from Harvey Bay. They were narrowly defeated by Sunshine Coast in their first trial game. I think by the second last ball they got their score chased down. So young Cooper Keogh from Gympie can bat and bowl, athlete in the field. You played with him last week.
Yeah, he was very impressive. He took 4 for against Capricornia, which helped us win that game.
Oh, okay.
He bowled very well the whole week, pretty much. He was probably a bit unlucky the first day and the third day, but he got the rewards the second day.
Did Kalen Barr play at all?
No.
Because we mention his name every week, don't we?
Yeah.
Out of all the people, he's good with the bat and the ball. So, yeah, Cooper and Kalen. Justin Geldard, the coach there, he's got a good side, so hopefully they can, do really well.
Yeah, that group last year was with 13s, didn't win a game, so I'm sure they'll be out for a bit of revenge. The under-15s off the Sunshine Coast under coach Brett Burrows. They had a win against Sunshine Coast in their only trial game. The games last weekend against CQ getting washed out.
Yep.
So, a couple of players there. Keep an eye on. Ollie went.
Not David went.
Not David went.
Ollie went. Rightio.
Ollie went. He got about 75 not out in the trial game against Sunshine Coast.
Yep.
And young Benny Gray, young boys made the move from Gold Coast to Bundaberg just after Christmas this year. So he's been playing a fair bit of senior cricket and another white kid that lives and breathes his cricket. So I think they should go pretty well. They got a big, strong South Burnett contingent. I think there's 6 or 7 from South Burnett.
A couple of strong farmer boys.
Yeah. So all the best to those boys that are heading away.
Absolutely. And that's next. When is that?
Monday to Friday next week.
Okay.
That wraps up all the QJC stuff. Thanks for coming in, Lockie.
Thank you.
Wish you all the best up in Cairns next week, and hope you bring home that Youth Cup. And I don't think Wide Bay's ever won a senior or junior Bulls Masters Country Challenge.
Haven't they? So. Well, we call him the Mayor of Bundaberg in the Brothers Circle. So he's got the keys to the city. If he can get the keys to the city in Cairns, they'll bring home the trophy for sure.
Yeah. All right, coming up after the break, we've got our full weekend preview of all games around the region.
Your local Better are your appliance specialists. With everything from fridges and laundry to TV, small appliances and much more. Plus, with a range of payment options available, you can buy now and pay later. Go local, that's better.
Come along to the Aussie Bundy Big Bash 2020 Cricket Series at Salter Oval. It's a free night of entertainment as 4 hard-charging teams battle it out. Every match live on widebayitv.com. See you at the Aussie Bundy Big Bash.
Hello and welcome back to the show. A couple of good guests we've had on tonight, David.
Lockie speaks very well for a 16-year-old teenage boy. But he loves his cricket, so and JB, he'll be sorely missed, won't he?
Yeah. All right, weekend preview. We've got 2 more weekends of club fixtures, but this weekend, Division 1, North vs Brothers. I think Brothers will probably be too strong there.
Maybe.
Norths are really sort of struggling this year, aren't they? There.
Yeah, at the moment, but if Brendan Hanley plays and Josh Winnan and Jaden Bond, if they all click, there's 3 good batters there that can, you can set a good total, 250 plus. So Brothers boys have got to be on their game. I think there's a couple of players out. including Lockie, because they're all off to Cairns, aren't they? So, yeah, I reckon it'll be a close game, to be honest. I'm not tipping an upset against the Brothers boys, but I wouldn't be surprised if North's fire, because after their last couple of games they haven't been that impressive, so they've been probably working pretty hard at training. And
You in?
Yeah, I'm in because we've got a lot out, unfortunately.
Right. And the other game, ATW take on East. ATW missing Sean Stutchbury, who's heading to Cairns with the Bulls Masters side, and Ryan Norton's out. But other than that, everyone's pretty
Nordo's out again.
Nordo's out again.
Has he gone to Fiji like Matty Posey?
No, I don't know where he's gone.
He says work, doesn't he, Nordo? Yeah, we know.
So, if East are on their day, I think the Waves have got to be on the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't take them too lightly, that's for sure.
Yeah. And then Division 2, ATW take on East as well, and that's actually a day-night game.
Okay.
Those guys getting an opportunity to play under the lights.
Yeah,
so.
That'd be good for them.
Yeah.
Some of them wouldn't have played under lights, would they?
No, probably not. Not all of them.
Okay.
Some may have at times, but probably not all of them. And Northern Brothers, guess North probably want to catch up to Waves in that second spot.
Because they've gone to third, haven't they? Yeah, so... Yeah, that should be a good game. I know there's a few out from Brothers, but, this time of the year, there's a few Christmas parties and things happening, so,
and a lot of people heading away with junior rep.
Yeah, so, this time of the year it's a bit tricky, but two good games there, and the day-night game, that'll be worth watching, actually. Should be good fun under the lights for them.
Yep. Division 3, ATW and East again. I know last time these two sides played, East got the win and smashed them to all parts. I'm sure Nick Laffey won't win the toss and bowl again.
Oh, that's right. That was the day-night game, wasn't it? We roasted him that night. Yeah. He won't do that again.
No. And it's top of the ladder versus bottom of the ladder with YMCA taking on East. So
yeah.
You never know. ISIS could cause an upset.
And I reckon Brothers will beat the bye in Div 3. There's my tip. There's my bold prediction.
Last weekend of junior fixtures. They return on the 28th of January. So there will be a bit of a break there with the school holidays.
Yeah.
As we had touched on just before the break with Lockie, all the QJC sides are heading away this weekend, as well as the Bulls Masters group. So best of luck to all those players.
Bundaberg will be pretty scarce over the next week or so with all the families, because a lot of families go away and watch the juniors, don't they? Yeah. So there'll be a lot of junior cricketers away.
I think Bundaberg makes up nearly half of those sides. So out of the 60 players, I think there's nearly 30 Bundaberg players going away.
30 families going away, so...
Yeah. And then next weekend, we've actually got the Division 3 Talon Giles final between YMCA and Waves. It'll be a day-night game on the 17th.
Okay.
Before club cricket returns on the 7th of January. And the Big Bash returns on the 13th of January. So the better heat and Headlands Pies. So
top of the table?
Top of the table.
Okay.
So that'll be a good game to make sure we get out to.
So if Heat can win that, then I reckon they'd be guaranteed first or second to come in the final.
Yep.
Big game for the Pies too. Because, hopefully the Vikings and the Taipans can start performing for our sake, so keep the Pies honest at least.
Yep. Yes. All right, well that wraps us up. We're having a bit of a holiday break.
Can we?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yes. So we'll be back on the 18th of January with our first show in the new year, and leading into finals. It'll be a big second half of the season with rep finals, club finals, Big Bash finals. So we'll have plenty to talk about then.
That'd be good. Look forward to it, mate.
It's been a good 7 weeks so far.
I think we've done all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thanks for having me on, and you're doing a good job as host. And it's funny the amount of people that you run into around town. I said, I run into a bloke today, I won't tell you who he is. He said, you're keeping Reese pretty honest. I went, yeah, did you know we're doing a cricket show? And he said, I've watched every single week. So there's a few people out there.
Yeah, there's a few people from out of town that are actually watching as well. We're talking to a bloke in Brisbane that's been tuning in.
Okay.
A lot of the South Burnett boys are watching it.
Okay, I'll have to give them more shout outs, eh?
Yeah.
Out the South Burnett boys.
Yeah. All right, we'll have a good Christmas.
I will, same to you, mate.
We'll see you all back on the 18th of January. So we'll get out to the cricket and bye for now.